I need to be perfectly honest with you guys. I kind of feel like I'm running on empty. And I wouldn't necessarily call it burnout, but the usual levels of joy and excitement I have about the things that I do is kind of lower, way lower than normal. And I wanted to make this video to, first of all, just let you guys know that everyone goes through this, and even someone who makes videos about productivity and lifestyle, and as you probably know, whose whole motto is to live life with joy and excitement, hits these lows. But I also wanted to share with you the few things that I do that help me kind of get through these lows and eventually get out of them. So I guess we will do that now. All right, so the first thing that I do when I get into these lows, besides kind of goofing off and having some fun, like I am making this video, is that I will unplug. Now, I don't do this near as often as I should. In fact, last night was one of the first times that I've done it since grad school started. But unplugging takes away that constant bug in your ear saying, hey, check your email, see if your professor emailed you. Hey, check your grades. Hey, make sure you didn't miss anything from work. Hey, check this, check that, check all this other stuff. Like, not being unplugged eventually gets the feel like you have 1,000 things that are half done that you still need to finish. And to be honest, unplugging is scary at first. For the first 15 minutes, I am stressed out beyond belief that I am missing something really important. But after that, I realized that, you know what? I'm not as important as I think. Unplugging is incredibly powerful. It just clears the mind, clears your head, and lets you do stuff that you enjoy without other things infiltrating that enjoyment. All right, so another thing that I do, again, besides obviously reminding myself to not take myself as seriously as I normally do, is to journal. And I've never really been a big journaling person before in terms of like a regular habit, though I'm experimenting with that this month, and I'll probably make a video about it later. But anytime I get into these kind of lows, I will always journal. And the reason why I journal is because it helps me filter through what thoughts are true and what thoughts are just totally nonsensical and nonsense. It's just a really great way, because when you write something down and you externalize your thoughts, a lot of them start to seem pretty ridiculous. So journaling is another thing that I will do. Oh, I didn't know I was recording. Ha! Funny. All right, so another thing that I will often do when I'm kind of in these lows is something that I was reminded of this morning in my reading. It's something that this dude named David in the Bible did a lot. If you're not familiar with the Bible, David is a very big person in the storyline. He wrote a ton of poetry, and a lot of times the topic of his poetry is how like downcast he is. And every time in these poems, he will take some time to kind of look at his state, and he won't shortchange it. But then after he looks at it, massive truck. Hold on. Okay. So much noise. Okay, so hold on. I'm just gonna tip over the trash can. Wait, quick. Okay, so when David writes these poems, you know, he takes a look at where he. Oh my gosh. You're gonna lay down right in front of the camera, huh? You're just gonna be that way? Okay. Besides pets being a great weapon against this lowness, David would often talk to himself or preach to himself, if you will, and he would just focus on the positive, because we have a tendency as human beings to focus on the negative, and when we start thinking about the negative, we make it bigger than it actually is. That's why journaling is so helpful. But talking to myself is the most powerful way to do it. I tell myself why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I chose to work where I work for the part-time job, why I teach, why I'm in grad school, why I make these YouTube videos. That why is so important. And telling myself the things I have to be grateful for really is the most powerful tool. So really that's it. I hope this is helpful for you. This was a completely impromptu video. And to be honest, it was like therapeutic for me to make this video. I feel so much better. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and do it. I put a ton of videos out. There's also a Facebook group that you could join too. That's pretty cool. There'll be another video Monday, a more lighthearted one, because I'm going to take my own advice and not take my life so seriously and do some fun stuff tomorrow.